Hey y'all, my name is Julian, also known as Beer Therapy Machine down here in South Carolina. It's my first YouTube video on a new channel that I'm doing. This is all about eBay sales, how I started a business on eBay and my journey in doing that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when I started reselling on eBay, and this is what mostly this channel is going to be about, is I didn't see anybody in the situation that I'm in, and I wanted to see somebody in that situation. People I see on eBay, doing this or on YouTube, is that they've made it, and they're given good information, but they got some beefed up stores, and they're really doing well. Then you have your part-timers that do this for fun. They give out awesome information, learned a lot of information from the part-time people, and they make full-time money. They really do. But they're still part-time. And then it seems like you have your full-time people that are full-time, but they have a secondary income coming in from a spouse or something of that nature. And I didn't see anybody, and I'm sure they're out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on YouTube that's out there or maybe they just didn't say it or something like that, that they're it. Like they do this for a living. They're an eBay seller by themselves that have to pay for all their bills just by doing reselling. That's beginning. Like I said, there are some people out there that I did see that have already made it, but I want to see from the very beginning and follow them through their journey just to see what they're doing, see their mistakes they're making. Like, I'm talking like real beginner mistakes, not the mistakes that are brought up. There are some real beginner mistakes that I'm going to go over, because when I go through tell you my story, I don't know anything like what I'm doing. Like, I knew less than zero when I started, and right now I might know like 0.01% of what I'm doing half the time. So that's what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be for somebody to take a look at and say, hey, you know what, I'm in this same situation, and what kind of not to do, or maybe I can teach you something. Maybe, probably not. Just learn maybe from all my mistakes that I made. So that's what we're going to do. Quick story about me. I started about 6 months ago in this eBay thing. Basically, I walked into an employer I had for 7 years, been in that type of industry or job for 10 years, and told him I was done. 2 weeks and I'm out. Like, I'm not coming back. I had about 6 to 8 months of money saved up in my bank account, and that was it. I have a mortgage. Everybody else has the same bills as I do, so you can understand I do have less than the average 33-year-old on bills, because I don't have a car payment, which is nice, and I don't have much credit card, and I got out of college without any student loans, and I don't have children. So my situation is just me and my dog and a house, but I still have bills to pay, and it's a mortgage payment and stuff like that. So, but that's what I got, and I know a lot of you are like, well, he doesn't have kids, so this doesn't really apply to me, and it's probably true, because it's a lot different, I'm sure, when you have a family to support and stuff. But I just have me to support, and I was going to take the leap because I could afford to drown. So I was like, I'm going to do it, and I did. And when I did it, I had only been reselling probably for about 2 months, maybe. I think I started around September, when my awesome girlfriend took me to a Goodwill and said, hey, listen, you can make money in this Goodwill. And then I saw the teapot, and I said, man, it's a really good looking teapot. Looked at it, it was $3, looked at some comps that I know now they're called comps on eBay, sold in the 20s. I made $22 an hour where I worked, and I worked 12-hour shifts, and it was terrible. But $22 an hour is actually not that bad around here. And long story short, bought the teapot, sold it, made a profit around $22. And I said that was a lot easier than doing what I was doing for the same amount of money. So, and I really enjoyed it. So then I did that like September, October, and by late November, I basically gave my 2 weeks, and I was out. After Thanksgiving, I was done. Well, they're also, for the real newbies, there's something called the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is obviously Christmas time, and it's a lot of things I'm going to say. You're going to say, that's common sense. Why would you think it'd be any different? Because I don't know what I'm doing. That's going to be a lot of my answers to a lot of the things that you think I'm stupid about, because I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, fourth quarter was really good last year. Like, I started this, and I didn't, looking back, I know why I had such good sales, because I was listing so much. I was new, but I had restrictions on that because I didn't have an eBay store then. But I was listing every day. I was finding stuff and listing it, and I was selling stuff, and it was really, you know, by my calculations, if I had 800 items in my store or 500 items in my store, I'd be a millionaire. Because if that's how fast these things were coming out. Well, that's because of Christmas. And once that ended, so did the sales. So then reality stepped in about, I don't know, like when my job, I quit and Christmas ended and the new year started, and then, you know, the coronavirus kicked in, and then reality really set in, and then I got to work, basically. I said, well, I'm all in, and as you can tell from probably my back there, is that that's only half to probably a quarter of my inventory that I have now. We'll go through how I got so much inventory, what I do, how I source, where I source. I've been sourcing since the shutdown and everything like that, and I will do step by step. I'll be as transparent as I can, because I know a lot of people. I do have an Instagram page. If you're going to go follow me there, I do a lot of what solds there and daily stacks, and usually I tell you if the stack was a good one or a bad one, because some stacks are high and then the profits aren't high, and some stacks are little and the profits are very profitable. So it all depends on what I sold that day. But follow me on Instagram. This is a Bearded Thrift Machine on there also. But this is just going to be a journey of a guy, you know, that just basically was tired of doing what he was doing and really just wanted to be happy and have freedom and try to start a business. And my goal isn't to, you know, drive around a Bentley or anything like that, but I can see where you can make a ton of money in this, like a ton. You know, and I do have a little bit of business knowledge. I did own and operate a small construction business as a sole proprietor, and I'm a sole proprietor now, so I do have that background in paying taxes, state, quarterlies, all that stuff. I already, you know, had a solid knowledge of that prior to this, so I did have a little leg up then. This is most likely going to be everything that I say that I messed up on is going to be reseller related, eBay related, and a lot of shipping errors that I could probably do an hour long, like how not to ship things. And a lot of things I'm going to say is like what not to do. I see a lot of like what solds and how to do this. I'm going to tell you like what, probably a lot of like what didn't sell or hasn't sold for me, because that is just as important. I didn't see a lot of people doing that either, of like, hey, I, you know, got this Logitech mouse 17 months ago. It's never sold. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are like, hey, I got, you know, this eraser that sold for $1,000 and it took one day. I've never found one of those yet. So I'm going to show you some generic things that I picked up that just haven't sold. But if you think that you would enjoy this, hopefully I can be some sort of maybe help to somebody else. Maybe save you some time, especially at the post office. I can tell you some, you know, not really tricks. If you just read their website, it tells you what to do. But I can just explain it to you because I had to read the website a lot. So this is going to be my journey, and I hope you all tag along, and if you like it, I think you're supposed to say give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And so, but that's my story, and that was a quick little introduction. Later on you'll meet my girlfriend and all this stuff and what we do, and you know, she does help a lot and everything like that. But we'll go from there, and I'll catch you on the next one.